Good morning. It is a very windy day today. The weather is acting so bizarre right now. Well, we had a couple of days, maybe even a week in the 90s. I believe one day it got as hot as 95. And then today we've got wind gusts up to about 25. And the temperature is like 60 degrees. So it's a little bit on the chilly side. It's not too bad. I've got a sweater on. But the odd thing about it is, y'all, is there is no rain in the forecast, but it sure does look like a storm is coming. Can you see the gray skies? I tell you, we are really living into some times that discerning times, you could say. You can see it in the weather, the changes in the weather, the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars. So, that's going to kind of go in line with what I want to talk about today. And I want to talk about why self-sufficiency isn't an option anymore. And it's going to be a real talk. Oh my goodness, a limb just fell out of a tree across the road, on the back road that goes down to the river. Well, hopefully there won't be any fallen tree limbs underneath this live oak. I feel pretty safe under it. So I want to go ahead and get started on today's podcast, and I just want to talk about and dig into why self-sufficiency isn't an option anymore. So have you ever, or do you ever get that feeling like something isn't quite right anymore? Hence the weather. Look around us right now, and this is just really bizarre right now with the fluctuations, the extremes that's going on. And it's not just in your own life, but everywhere. Okay, we've got the cost of food rising, the quality of food, the healthcare system, the way people are more disconnected than ever. My goodness. And yet somehow more dependent than ever at the same time. I've been sitting with this for a while now, and I'm just gonna say it plainly. Learning how to be self-sustainable is no longer a hobby. It's becoming a necessity. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, and I'm gonna talk about what's really going on. We're living in a time where systems that people relied on for generations are starting to show cracks. Supply chain break, prices spike overnight, our medications get recalled. You see the store shelves, they look full, but the nutrition is low. The ingredients are questionable, without a doubt, and everything feels fragile. And the truth is, most people are completely dependent on those systems. That's not a judgment, that is a reality. But what happens when those systems fail, even temporarily? That's where self-sustainability comes in. Not as some extreme lifestyle, but as a form of a quiet independence. Well, I want to clear something up. Self-sustainability, it doesn't mean that you have to go live off the grid in the woods and never see another human being again. That's not what it means. It means growing some of your own food, knowing how to preserve it, understanding basic herbal remedies, and being able to take care of your home and your family without relying on a system for every little thing. It's about skills over conveniences, because convenience is great until it disappears. You know, our ancestors knew what we forgot. There was a time when, not that long ago, when people didn't run to a store or a pharmacy for everything. They grew their own food. They have seeds. They saved them. And they knew which plants could heal them, calm, or nourish their body. Herbal medicine wasn't an alternative. It was just medicine. Things like using herbs to reduce inflammation, teas for digestion, sleep, or stress, natural remedies for wounds, infections, and immune support. They worked with the land, not against it. And somewhere along the way, we lost that. We traded knowledge for convenience. And now, a lot of people feel completely helpless without modern systems. And let's talk about herbal medicine for a second. You know, herbal medicine is power, but it requires responsibility. This isn't about rejecting modern medicine completely, but because there's a place for it, right? And the wind is just a-blowing, y'all. And because it's about reclaiming knowledge. Because when you understand herbs, you're less dependent. You can respond quicker to everyday health issues, and you build a deeper connection with your body. And honestly, there's something incredible that's grounding about walking outside and knowing that what you feel or what you need might already be growing around you in your yard. But I'm going to be real with you. This isn't something to take lightly. You have to learn. You got to respect the plants, and you have to understand what you're using. This is about empowerment, not recklessness. So here's the part people don't always want to say out loud, and why this really matters right now. Economically, socially, and environmentally, we are in uncertain times. And when things just get uncertain, you know, when it gets uncertain, the people who are the most stable are the ones who can provide for themselves, at least on a basic level. Not perfectly, not completely, but enough. Enough to not panic, enough to not rely on broken systems, enough to take care of their family when things get hard. And that's what this is about. It's not about fear, but preparedness and a peace of mind. So you need to start where you are. No overwhelm, right? Just start where you're at. And if you're listening and if you think about this, I don't even know where to begin. If that's what you're thinking, start small. Grow a few herbs in a pot. Learn 1 or 2 herbal remedies. Start a small garden bed, even if it's messy. Learn how to preserve food one method at a time. You don't need to do everything at once. This is a journey back to something we were never supposed to lose. So, at the end of the day, this isn't just about survival. It's about freedom and it's about confidence, and it's about reconnecting with something real. Because when you can grow your own food, when you understand natural medicine, when you're not completely dependent on a system, you move through the world differently. You're more grounded, you're more aware, you're more capable, and honestly, that's something that no one can take away from you. So if you are trying to learn this, make sure to subscribe, because we're figuring it all out together. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share, and I will see you next time here in the countryside, and maybe it won't be so windy and cool, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. I'll take the cooler weather over the hot, humid weather. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time here in the countryside. Bye, y'all.